Welcome, everybody, to Dueling Aces for 5/13/2024. No, you did not miss us last week. If you look at the title, it kind of seems like some of us might have gotten lost in the Tom Brady roast. Oops, my bad. Plus, of course, might have gotten lost in a little bit of basketball playoffs too and baseball games. So we do apologize for that. Kicking off with me tonight, Sam Nelson, Birds of the Gridiron. Thank you for jumping in and joining me tonight to get this kicked off. Appreciate it as always. You can catch Sam, Birds of the Gridiron, usually 5:30s on Mondays on Facebook. Check him out. He and Tyler do a fantastic job. Full backing on Philadelphia Eagles talk, anything and everything, and a few giant slamming fans while they're at it.
And there's an occasional Commanders guy that comes in, but he's good people. We love him.
Yeah.
Look, it's good. Look, it's good. Look, if you had a show where it was just all Eagle fans talking, we get bored eventually. So, I mean, having some NFC East rivals in there is kind of fun, actually.
True. I mean, that's how the idiots turn around and get away with having Chipper chiming in, a Steelers fan. That usually gets things going pretty good too. So, I know myself and Dave, we covered a little bit about post-draft, but quickly just touching base with your actual response to how the Eagles did on their draft this year. What grade did you? What was your overall grade? I know you even asked for a poll on your page.
I gave it an A. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you saw my reaction. You were on our show with us during the draft, which, by the way, that was one of the funnest shows we've ever done. That may have been one of the greatest episodes I've ever done. And here's the thing.
It was a lot of fun.
What did we talk about the whole night? Look at all these defensive players that are dropping. The Eagles didn't go into that draft needing anything on the offensive side of the football drastically, right? I mean, come on. You've got Jalen Hurts. You've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, top 5 offensive line in football. Their offense was already set. This team needed a youth injection on that defensive side of the football. They went out and got Quinyon Mitchell, who I think is, give or take your opinion, he's either the 1A or the 1B best corner in the draft. Him and Terrion Arnold are going to be two of the best young corners in the league. I told Georgie, you heard me. I said it. I didn't care which one. I just needed one of them to come in here and get me a youth movement in my secondary. Then you somehow outdid yourself and jumped in and got Cooper DeJean at pick 40, which I still can't believe. So,
are we still talking about the fucking draft?
Yeah, we're touching base on it. I asked Sam about the Eagles.
It's
and their
3
draft.
weeks. Like, training camp doesn't start till July. We got baseball, we got NASCAR, we got a whole bunch of other shit. We don't need to talk about football till July.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Football to me is like WWE. It's all year round. It never stops.
Then you should probably see a therapist about that.
Oh, I need a therapist, but for other things.
Dude, I hate the fact that for some reason, some people's identity is so wrapped up in football that they have to talk about the draft and what kid is going to go in the 31st pick of the 5th round in the 2035 draft. It drives me up a damn wall.
I see you replaced some words there with damn. I see what you did there.
I saw the live button.
All right, no. To be fair,
Adam's still scared.
oh shit.
Adam's still scared.
I know. To be fair, I do agree. Trust me, I'm not Mr. NFL all the time. Like I'm deep in the baseball right now too. I'm just like I was asked a question. I'm deep in the baseball right now, and a little bit of the NBA playoffs, even though the NBA disgusts me. But
well, we discussed it a few weeks back with what we saw as one of the closest finishes in NASCAR, and then boom, we got another one. Bruiser, this was sick. This was
the Atlanta finish, and then that was Kansas too last week.
Yeah, this was last week's.
Technically, it was 0.0001.
Yeah, I was looking at that like 3 different ways, going, dude, that is like.
Here's the thing that upsets me about that finish. If they'd painted the start finish line right and lined up the laser correctly, Chris Buescher would have won that race.
I was gonna say that is truly sick. It's like, dude, how do you, where at what point do you just go, no, it was a tie? Because
it was very close to being a tie.
Because that is truly sick.
It went. I think if it goes to the 5, there's ways of breaking the tie, like with the stage racing and stuff like that. Because I think Kyle Larson won a stage or won 2 stages in the Kansas race. So he could have gotten the tiebreaker, but like, I don't know. If you look at the picture from the other way, it looks like Chris Buescher's ahead of him.
Yeah, I was going to say, now this is the second time we've had this particular shot. So what that's going to be my next question is, when or how would they turn around and set this up that they want to turn around and put a camera on the other side so that they can have or even have a direct overhead shot?
There already is one. There's a Fox camera that shoots down the line.
Okay, because I did not. I was trying to find an overhead, like a direct overhead.
There's
shot.
not going to be an overhead. There's going to be a shot coming from the pit side toward the tower. But if you look at that start finish line, it's painted incorrectly. Now, I realize that the start finish line does not dictate where the race actually starts and ends because it's a laser that runs through the center of it.
Sure.
But if you look at the way because there was a lot that was made out of this. And if you look at the way Darlington's stripe was painted this weekend, the start finish line, there was a line in the dead center of that start finish line that indicated where the race started and where the race stopped, where the timing line was.
Well, how difficult would it be to turn around and establish something that was directly overhead?
Where are you going to anchor it to?
Well,
I'm being serious. Where are you going to anchor it to? Because you can't put any posts to anchor it in the infield.
No, but wouldn't you be able to still just do an arch from the side?
So you're going to add more structure and stuff to the catch fence? How are you going to support the
I mean, with as lightweight as a lot of the cameras are already.
I get that. And it does baffle me that they don't at least have some sort of camera in the flag stand kind of pointing down at an angle. But with the drone shots that they have now, Fox runs a drone at every race. With the drone shots that they have now, I don't have anything against the Kansas finish. It was an incredible finish.
Yeah,
I
this is
I
awesome.
I think I personally I think Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports got a little bit of a gift because it's Hendrick's 40th anniversary in NASCAR, and you know we got to have at least one Hendrick car in the championship for because nobody's going to watch if that doesn't happen.
Well, how much does now? I mean, especially for 2 races to have these types of finishes, how much more? I mean, I heard on the
Three.
four letter network, even guys, Rizzo and Hammer were even talking about the race.
Three finishes.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, I mean,
Because you had Atlanta, Texas, and Kansas. And then
this
look at the finish. Look at the
has to
finish
be
yesterday.
more.
Did you see the last 10 laps yesterday?
I caught a replay. But this definitely has to get more people talking, and the ratings have to be going up.
The problem that is that you can put on the most exciting race, right? People don't make fun of F1 like they make fun of NASCAR.
I get it.
They make fun of NASCAR because where did it start? It started in the South. It started with shine runners. What are the South? They're hillbillies. They're idiots. They just turn left. And people don't understand the physics, the actual athleticism that it takes to drive one of those, the athletic endurance that it takes to drive one of those cars for 400 miles at 170 to 190 miles an hour, bumper to bumper, and not wadded up.
Oh hell, you and I have both played the video games. It's like, go ahead and actually try to race an actual race with the steering wheel and with the pedals, and you go ahead and you try to go 300 laps. Go for it. I double dog dare you.
But it's they make. Do I appreciate hearing the 4-letter network talk about NASCAR, especially when finishes like Kansas or Darlington or Texas or Atlanta happen? Yeah, I do, because it's added eyes. But then you get people like Rizzo and Hammer or others who make fun of it.
Well, of course, Hammer. Hammer loves to bash
Riz
anything.
isn't going to make fun of it.
No.
Hammer will make fun of it.
Yeah, he totally does.
Because he doesn't understand it. Go stand in the infield of Michigan International Speedway when they're coming off of turn 4 down the front stretch in a pack at full song doing 190 and just watch. You know what I mean? Go to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Go to a short track. Go to a local short track on a Saturday night. And I'm more impressed with the Darlington finish yesterday than I was with the Kansas finish.
Okay.
Because Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski beat and banged and beat the hell out of each other. They hard raced for 10, 15 laps. And then Buescher threw an amazing dive bomb move in and took the lead away. And then Buescher and Reddick got into it. And then when all hope was lost for Keselowski, Buescher and Reddick got together, cut each other's tires. They were both out, and Keselowski won. That's better racing. That's more drama.
Yeah, I was going to say, so far, it's been a, what? I smell like racing fuel.
I love racing fuel. I smell like grass outside and gasoline right now.
No, it's been wild to turn around and actually see that this season so far has been that entertaining for NASCAR. I mean, people need to understand too, is it's just not, it's like, oh, you're just driving around in a circle. No, the manufacturers are, because back in the day when you turn around and raced, that was the car that was being sold.
Win
And
on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Yep, exactly. You actually were going to purchase those cars.
Well, they're getting rid of the Camaro, and I forget what Chevy's going to go to. They might go to just a stock. They might just go to a stock body style. There's been talk that they were going to use the Corvette body in 2025 for Chevy. I'm not sure, but they keep talking about going hybrid, and not full electric, but hybrid, so that when you come on the pit lane, you switch over to hybrid, or when you're on pace laps, you're in hybrid. Because there's two manufacturers that they're chasing. Honda doesn't want to build a V8 engine. If Honda comes in, they want NASCAR to go to V6s. And NASCAR said no. But the other manufacturer that NASCAR was chasing for a little while to get back into it, or to get into it, they were chasing after Nissan.
I was going to say Nissan's pretty much a lot more F1 than anything.
Well, Nissan and Toyota are bitter rivals. Honda doesn't want to come in unless they can make a V6. And NASCAR said that's not happening. Now they will talk about a hybridized V8, but they will not go to a V6.
Huh. Adam says wrong schedule release is Wednesday. Yeah.
We'll never stop.
Yeah.
The schedule's going to get leaked between today and tomorrow anyway. It's not like we're not going to know it before Wednesday.
It's been leaked. A few things have already gone out.
Right. Tom Brady's debut on Fox is the Browns and Cowboys. You know, it's like, okay, well, thank you very much. We've already seen the Chiefs and the Ravens are opening it. It's like, okay, well, there's a yawner.
There's a rumor that the Eagles are going to are going to host Monday Night Football week 2. That's already been a rumor.
Listen, as much like Ohio State fans made me hate Ohio State, football fans in general are making me hate football because it's all they can talk about. Nobody cares about your fantasy roster, much like nobody cares about my D&D campaign or my D&D characters. Nobody gives a shit. I don't care.
On this show we do. I was going to say, on this show we do. In fact, I was just going to mention to you, did you see that on Let's Make a Deal, they actually gave away a game room and game tables that had drop-ins and a full D&D set?
Oh, I saw it.
Oh my gosh.
Check about that $60,000. That's about $60,000.
That was impressive. I was like, hey, check that out on a game show. You're winning D&D product. Absolutely.
They gave away a Wormwood gaming room.
Mr. Zolt, welcome, sir.
What's up? So
first off, I just need to say, we had a good week. I thought we had him there in stage 3. We were running up front. We were doing what we needed to do, but we cut a tire late in the race and then just got into the wall and got back in traffic and just really couldn't regain those spots. And unfortunately, it was a bad finish for us. But we'll get them next week. We'll be back. We got a week off. It's the All-Star week, and then we're back at Charlotte.
There's no substitute for good quality control.
At one point, I looked, and it was 45 laps to go, and Zolt had 150 points, and I was at 270. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God.
I looked about that time.
I was going to say, I was around 140 something. Then I look, and I'm like, wow, I finished with 88 or something. I'm going, ouch. I'm like,
well green flag pit stops threw me off because they had green flag pit stops late in the race. They had green flag pit stops late in the race, but then Kyle Larson hit the wall and went out. And then somebody else on my roster got into a late race wreck. Oh, Reddick. Reddick was leading when that happened. And so there went 2 of my 5. I was like, you know what? Forget it. Just forget it.
Yeah, I looked at it, and like I said, I was down. I was in third. I was down there by a lot. And I checked it at like 10 p.m. and I was like, hey, look at that.
Yeah, right.
You were the recipient of some late race luck.
Yes, I was.
That's I was to say at the moment. That's exactly how you
Just
get back
like I planned it.
up.
My-
Damn stats, man.
I'm kicking myself. I'm glad I didn't do it, but at one point yesterday when I was looking at like my lineup before the race started, I thought about picking Busher, Reddick, and Keselowski because I'm like, those 3 are going to finish great. And I'm so glad that I just picked Reddick and Keselowski because at least Keselowski got me the win. Like he got a win, so he got me a crap ton of points. But I wasn't going to pick Hamlin because I only have so many starts left with him. And I'm like, I'm going to do a little like resource management this week. There's a bunch of guys that are good at Darlington that I can put in there that I have a bunch of starts left with. I was like, Busher's really good at Darlington. That should be all right. Nope. Let's cut a tire down with 2 to go. Hey, Zolt, how the Tigers doing?
They're still playing. They still have games.
Are they
I
above
have no
500?
They were.
One today.
They were. Let's see if I can find scores here. Standings. Look at this. Where we got? We are a game above 500, sir.
I don't remember where the Pirates are at. I looked yesterday and I don't remember. I'm going to assume below 500.
They're 18 and 23.
That's not awful.
They're third place in their division.
Hey, they're only 5 games below 500. They're only listen. Like that's really good for this time of year. Normally they're like 10 and 30.
Right.
Yeah, they could be like the Marlins.
Or the Phillies.
Hey. We have the best record in baseball.
For how long? You're Philadelphia. You'll choke it away eventually. Look at the Eagles.
I'm not going to comment because I'm going to keep talking about football.
Wow.
Hey, are the 76ers in the playoffs? I can't remember.
Look, you're not going to get any argument from the Sixers. I'm a Sixers fan, and I despise them.
I mean, the Cavs are in the playoffs. What was that? Tank for everything, and let's build up a roster? And then what the 76ers do with that? Oh, nothing. That's right.
You're not getting any arguments out of me. Look, I will despise this organization until they realize that what they're doing is not working. I will not fully actually care about the Sixers until Joel Embiid is traded because I just don't trust him. I never will trust him. They can continue to talk about what player they want to bring in. Paul George, because that's going to freaking help. Jimmy Butler, I don't care. It's never going to matter because what's that?
Talking about bringing in Paul George and Jimmy Butler. What is this, 2010?
They are targeting them in free agency, and I despise them because it's literally 5 years too late.
Yeah.
It's 14 years too late.
Okay, yes, I understand that. I'm just saying. But no, I despise them because it's not going to matter. I don't care if you bring in Paul George. I don't care if you bring in Jimmy Butler. I don't care if you bring them both. When it's not if now, it's when Joel Embiid gets hurt in the postseason again, it's not going to matter because we're going to have the same conversation again next summer. Again.
Well, that's okay. We're going to beat a dead horse here in Cleveland because looky who was in town this evening courtside with his wife and his agent.
Good
He's
on
coming
him.
home again.
Very interesting that somebody has not been in attendance since the last time he left, and it's like, huh, interesting. Very
Well, I mean, the
interesting.
Lakers are out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
He still has a house here. Why wouldn't you come to a game?
Yeah, but he still has a place in Akron.
But I did not boot him. Zolt.
Yes, you did. Don't lie to the
No,
people.
I did not.
I did no such thing.
I did not boot him.
You got guys. You got tired of him disrespecting football. You just lost your cool. It's okay.
But this is very interesting because this is how things kind of progressed the last time when he came back. And it's like, well, is that going to be his fourth time back in?
Did you boot me?
No, we just said, we're like, where the hell did you go? We
disappeared.
did not boot you.
Like all of a sudden, I went back to the enter the chat screen. I'm like, what the heck happened?
As he asked me if I did. Y'all started talking LeBron. I checked out.
That's very interesting. But yes, he can do his opt out and be a free agent. He can opt out and be a free agent. So
if he's going to retire after his next team, I can 100% see another return to Cleveland. Because here's the thing. It's not like the first time. The Miami one, he was hated in Cleveland for a long time because of that. It's not like that this time. Like, honestly, I'm not saying that they didn't care, but when he went out to LA, they didn't seem as upset with him as the last time.
No, nobody really cared.
Nobody.
Oh, yeah, but
no, because he did what he said he was going to do.
Exactly.
Coming home,
He
getting the rings, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to turn around and try to do, and he did. He did the Hollywood thing, and it's like, okay, I'm done with the Hollywood thing. Time to wrap it up. Okay, so does that mean you're going to wrap it up? And Adam's beating me to the punch. Yeah, wrap it up and retire, and that way you don't have to worry about anything further.
I mean, you're
a nice little young team over there for him to come over to.
But you're coming up on a 20-year NBA career. Or I think you've already passed the 20-year mark.
Yeah, he's past it.
Yeah.
2003.
Yep.
So you're coming up on you passed the 20-year mark in the NBA. You've won a bunch of rings, you've lost a bunch of finals, you've won some MVPs, you got a bunch of all-stars. Hey, come back to Cleveland.
One of the GOATs.
Yeah, you are on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So come back here, retire, and then take a job with the organization.
Yeah. Which, was, I think, probably one of the big things that Gilbert was even looking at. So the last time around.
I know when he went to LA, there was talk of him trying to be a player coach. But I think the NBA has rules against that now.
Yeah.
So, but hey, come back here, be an assistant, be an advisor to the GM, be an ambassador for the Cavs, be an ambassador for the city of Cleveland and the city of Akron. Try to bring more commerce here. Like, hey, nobody's mad you left and went to LA.
Nope.
And to be quite honest, most people weren't mad at LeBron about Miami. We were mad about the way that he did the city on national television. And he couldn't even do it here. He did it from some YMCA gym in Connecticut, and ESPN made a circus out of it. That's what people were mad about.
Yep. It's right on the nose. Yep, you hit it right on the nose.
Also, I have to give props to Zolt for trying to bait me earlier with the Texas comments in the chat.
Sir, that was just I'm worried about people's safety. That's all. You can't have Michigan, Texas under the lights. That's just asking for trouble. That's way too much drinking time.
That's way too much drinking for Michigan and Texas fans.
I was just gonna say that is long. Oh my gosh. I don't think there's a I don't think the National Guard would be able to assist on that.
I
That
tell
would
you
be
what, though.
seriously dangerous.
I tell you what, though, if that game ended up like 27-25 and just a great game, I don't think anybody be rowdy. I think it'd just be a party afterward.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
You think?
Hey, you know what? At noon start, the game will be over.
Yeah.
Get some dinner, hit some drinking afterwards. Everything's kosher.
I'm going to go drinking with Zolt that game.
So it's like, well, you're gonna be making a road trip.
Adam and I talked
We'll
about
see.
it. We talked about going up there for that game.
We did.
I don't know if I want to pay the prices for the tickets for that game, but
You don't. You don't.
I saw some of the cheap seats the other day. They're like 125. I was like, oh.
Mm.
I've been in those. You don't see much.
You have a better view on TV.
The closest I can go now is Kentucky. Because Texas is in the SEC and I'll go to Kentucky to play Kentucky. West Morgantown was closer. Morgantown was 5.5 hours. I don't even know if Texas plays Kentucky this year, though. They do an NCAA 25, though.
Absolutely, they will.
I'm buying a PS5 for one game. For one game.
I've done worse.
Definitely done worse.
Technically, I'm buying a PS5 for 3 games, but because I want UFC 5 and I want Spider-Man 2. Well, we don't have anything to talk about.
Whoops. Hang on. That's the wrong screen. Hold, please.
Zolt's trying to pull something up.
That's the wrong screen. I was going to say, have we talked about a Google search? Yes, we have.
Can we talk more about Angel Hernandez bad calls?
Oh my God. I'm leaving.
Oh,
I can't.
Lord.
I wasn't on that episode, but I was in the comments. No, I don't want to talk about that.
They've gotten worse.
That's not a surprise. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been over the past few weeks, as much as it's mostly Angel, baseball umpiring this year has hit a new low.
So did NFL officiating last year.
Well, yes. Well, yeah, but like I've never seen this much. This has been the most atrocious strike zone in recent years. There are just pitches that are not.
Go watch AAA baseball.
Well, with the robo umpires.
Oh, with the robo stuff.
With the laser strike zone. It's like a 92% success rate on it, and the way that the oh God, but the challenge system. I was looking for the word challenge for a second. I couldn't find it in my brain. But the way the challenge system works, if the pitcher thinks that it should be a strike, he grabs his hat, they stop. It's literally 15 seconds. They get it right, and they're back in the game.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's great.
And with the way,
why can't we?
Because of the umpires union in Major League Baseball.
Tell the umpires union to get it right then.
Dude, the way that YouTube is proliferated. You have, Monster Jam showing all their live events on there. The Savannah Bananas, showing all their stuff on there. Columbus Clippers. You can go watch AAA baseball for free on YouTube Live. If you hate the way that umpires are umpiring, go watch a AAA game and see how efficient that strike zone and the way that they're doing it with the robo strike zone is.
And I've seen it. It's been freaking working out fine. I understand. Like, I get they're trying, and I get like what Major League Baseball, but like, do you know how much crap that these umpires have to deal with? You know what's much that would make their lives easier? They should be the first ones wanting this, so their lives would just be that much easier.
Zolt,
Yes.
Oh boy, multi-billion dollar. I like that.
Ooh, baby, that price tag is going up.
Price tag of approximately $30 million per football team.
Wow.
And this is part of a settlement that they're negotiating.
I was gonna say, you want to do a quick recap, bring folks up to speed on.
Yeah. So,
How many?
Nobody was aware.
How many D1 schools are there?
Is it hit 200 yet? We're talking about the haves versus the have-nots, obviously. So because there's schools that cannot pony that up.
Right.
So, okay. So currently there's a bunch of lawsuits against the NC2A. This settlement that they're talking about eliminates 3 of the 4 big ones. What this settlement that they're negotiating, and like I said, they have 2 weeks on there because there's a hearing in 2 weeks, and they want it done before then because that hearing means that the trial is going to go forward. And the NC2A doesn't want that because they've lost every damn court case that they've had. But end all be all of this is it kind of started with NIL when NIL popped up there. Then suddenly you've got a whole lot of former players that said, okay, so this means that you screwed us out of money that we could have had. That's one of the major lawsuits. And that's where a lot of this money is coming from, because the money is to pay off the former players from wages that they could have received.
So there are, and I realize my computer's lagging behind, and I don't know why. I'm not trying to cut you off at all. I really am not. There are currently 134 D1 NCAA schools. And if you're talking about giving $30 million to each team, that is $4 billion, $20 million.
The number I've heard is about 2.9 billion. So obviously somebody's not making the cut.
I was gonna say, didn't you have, because you even went through and did the set last year, earlier this year. We figured in about 7 groups of 10, roughly. So it'd put it about 65 to 70 some schools. Which is about
most likely. So just for so everybody can understand the price tag we are actually talking about. That's up to 30 million a year per school over 10 years.
Wow. Yikes.
So included in that money is revenue sharing cap to pay the players. They estimate that to be as much as 22 million per year. At least 2 million held for back damages to former players, and as much as 10 million in additional scholarship costs depending on the sport, because this is going to encompass more sports other than football. They're going to be affecting roster sizes. Expect football teams to have a cap somewhere around 85.
It's what it is now.
You've got teams that have over 100 players.
I was going to say,
That's 85 is the current scholarship cap. You can have as many walk-ons as you want. What this is going to do is eliminate that. It's going to be every roster spot is going to be a scholarship spot.
Yeah, you'll eliminate the, hey, that guy's number 7. Hey, that guy's number 7. Hey, that guy's number 7. It's like, all right, you got 3 number 7s, 2 number 15s, and you know.
So this I'm trying to kind of read this as I go here, but just because that stuff comes out every day from wherever they're getting this. The cap would fluctuate depending on athletic department revenues. So entire athletic department, not just football. And they estimate the cap roughly 22% of power conference school revenue streams.
Okay, well, we know who that is.
We know exactly who that is. And that almost sounds to me like separate division completely. Because it doesn't even sound like they're factoring in group of 5.
Nope.
Now that 22%, the $30 million price tag is only 20% of the average athletic department for ACC, Big 10, SEC, Big 12. So in theory, it could go higher than that.
Oh,
I bet you that this lawsuit settles out around 5 to 7 billion by the time it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of the attorneys for I don't want to say the players because it's not these are specific people, suing the NC2A, but the attorneys for those who are suing basically
you could say the plaintiffs.
There you go, the plaintiffs. It basically have said it's like our price keeps going up every time we win in court, and we haven't lost yet. So at some point, you might want to settle.
Yeah.
I know.
Do it quickly. And do it quickly.
The NCAA is going to have to put a provision in there that they can't come back and sue again, though.
Yeah, again, this only settles 3 of the 4 main lawsuits. There's a 4th one. I can't remember exactly what they're suing for, but these 3 are kind of getting lumped together because they all have the same attorneys. So that just kind of makes sense that you're going to try to get them all together.
Boy, some attorneys going to be driving around in a brand new Lamborghini after this.
So far, I have heard this impacting football, baseball,
basketball.
I believe so. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Is this lawsuit the death of the NCAA?
I mean, it would have been if they. It will be if they don't negotiate a settlement.
Even with the settlement.
It sure sounds like the NC2A is going to make the schools foot the bill. So.
But if you make the schools foot the bill, now, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not. Because I've said it on here numerous times. It's ridiculous that the science program has got to go out and fundraise to get a new building, but Alabama gets a $10 million locker room with chase lounges and 32-inch plasma screens in every locker. But so yeah, the school should fit some of the bill, but I think the NCAA's got to be on the hook for part of it too. I think you've got to go.
Should be.
I think if I'm the schools, man, I'm getting, if I'm Ohio State, if I'm Michigan, I'm Texas, I'm Alabama, hey, Yeah, we can foot the bill, but Tulane can't. UTEP can't. Let's make the NCAA pay part of this. Hey, we'll pony up 50% or 40%, but you're going to have to pony up the other 60 because this happened under your watch. You're the one that wouldn't change your archaic rules. You're the one when we kept coming to you saying we need to change this and you wouldn't do it. This is your fault.
Yeah. Got dragged to it kicking and screaming.
Exactly. It's the South Park episode with Cartman all over again.
Are you comfy, Thomas?
The student athletes. How do you?
So again, the next 2 weeks will be very interesting. Not terribly sure exactly what's coming out of it, but they have said that whatever they come up with will not be in place for the upcoming season. There's just not enough time for the upcoming academic year. So fall 2025 is more likely when we would see everything completely change.
Yeah. I will speaking of fun things, I saw Salt Lake City is man, are they almost sold out. Their season tickets.
They should be sold out. I mean, at this point, I believe it's going to be probably a lottery to see who gets full season tickets, and then there's going to be partial season tickets up for grabs as well. So
now, have they come up with the official name for the squad?
no, and I don't think they've been in a huge rush either. The only thing they've said is they will be called Utah. It's not going to be Salt Lake City. It's going to be Utah something.
Utah something. Okay. Since we're,
I think they were going to go
over there. Since we're trekking over there, this is our current standings for the playoffs, and it looks like the eastern side is definitely starting to break away. Florida and the Rangers looking as they're looking to meet for the Eastern Finals, and then
Carolina just beat the Rangers, so it's now 3-2.
Oh, did it? I was gonna say
Carolina.
This is live off of their site right now. So
this is the one time that I will allow a Florida team to succeed in the playoffs, because as long as the Bruins aren't in it, I'm fine.
Right.
We can agree with that.
And I know at 9:30, I know that Dallas and Colorado started too. So
I watched I think it was game 1 of Vancouver and Edmonton. I watched.
That series has been good
the other day, and good God, that's some hockey they're playing.
That has been a great series so far.
And the funny thing is they always seem to put on a great series. Whenever those two squads are playing each other, they always seem to do well.
I wouldn't mind seeing Vancouver in the West Conference Finals.
I don't disagree with that.
I think Vancouver and Dallas, or even either one of those teams, Vancouver or Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals, I'm fine with.
It's going to be an entertaining series, whichever
100%.
one of them moves forward.
Mm-hmm.
Going to this comment from Adam.
Gotta be this.
So, okay, so they're doing fan voting to determine the name.
Oh, geez.
They have a list of 20 choices.
Whoa.
The first round of voting goes to the 22nd, and then the low vote getters get eliminated, and they're going to do basically they're just going to do rounds of voting until they get down to probably the final 2. But
they're going to be they're going to be in the Western Conference like when the puck drops in September, Utah will be a full-fledged team, correct?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes. Yes, because they did, however weird, wonky way they did it, they did not technically acquire the franchise, but they acquired all the franchise assets from Arizona. So they have the roster, they have, etc.
I wonder if it's a
But
money deal where they got to pay off the NHL first.
initially, it was a thing where the NHL was buying the franchise, and then Salt Lake City was purchasing it from the NHL. I'm guessing that was a negotiating tactic, because eventually the two groups got together and figured it out. So out of the 20 names that were given, I don't have the list of all 20, but FanDuel
I'm
does have
working on
ranked
it.
who
I'm
has
working on it.
the best odds right now to win are in fact the Yeti.
That's not a bad name, especially for that region.
Utah Yeti.
I kind of figured they'd go with something along the lines of BYU because you're in Salt Lake City. You're not far from BYU. You know, the Cougars.
Well, you've got the Yeti, the Outlaws, the Mammoth, the Swarm, the Venom, Squall, Glaciers, Caribou, Mountaineers, Canyons.
I don't
I
mind
know
the
what
Utah
else.
Mountaineers.
Oh my
No, that's not
Caribou.
horrible.
As long as you don't have a dude out there in a coonskin cap and a musket. West Virginia might have something to say about that.
Frost, Hive, the Frost and the Hive are also on that.
The Hive sounds like an MLS team.
Right.
What is Salt Lake City's MLS team name?
It says that the options were
Thomas,
Frost,
can you go like cooking?
Ice. I got it here. It's Frost, Ice, Powder, Mountaineers, Freeze, Mammoth, Black Diamonds.
That's
the
not a bad
Blast-
one.
No,
Different.
that one sounds pretty
Ah.
cool actually. The Blast, Caribou, Blizzard, Swarm, Hive, Outlaws, Yeti, Squall, Fury, Glaciers, Canyons, Venom, and HC, which stands for Hockey Club, which we know will not go anywhere.
Well, because
We are not
it's Salt Lake FC for the football club.
That would make sense.
I don't.
Yeah.
We are not Washington football team in this crap.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I like the Black Diamonds thing. That's pretty cool.
I like
That is
I like
cool.
Black Diamonds. I like the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I could see that.
I like oddly
Yeti-
enough, it sounds dumb, but I kind of like HC.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it's different.
It is.
The league is not going to let that go.
No. They saw the NFL had to deal with that. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Right.
No, the Yeti isn't bad. I mean,
I don't mind the Yeti. I wouldn't
I
mind
don't mind that.
the Utah Mammoth.
Mammoth's not bad
Utah
either.
Mammoth. That's not bad.
It's not. It's got a good. It's better than Frost, Ice, or Freeze, or Powder,
Yeah.
or Blizzard.
Listen, if they're the Utah Powder, then they got to get the kid who played the character in the movie and just roll him.
I knew it was going there. No, we can't. No, no, don't. No.
Just
Well,
let him shoot lightning.
We
from his-
just jumped off the rails.
Hey.
That's us.
I will say, George, the ones you mentioned with the Frost and et cetera, none of those are in the top 10 on FanDuel. So
That's good.
I didn't mind Fury either. Fury was a good one.
Wasn't somebody already the Fury though?
No, the Atlanta Thrashers.
No. Oh no. I'm thinking.
Are you thinking of soccer?
No, the Fury was in the juniors when like the Detroit Red Junior Wings. I think the Fury was one of those.
There's a soccer team. There's a soccer team called the Fury. And I forget who it is.
But one of the junior squads was also the Fury as well, because I watched them play the junior wings when they were down as they were changing with being the Plymouth Whalers.
You could just be the Utah Poly. See, Zolt got it. Zolt got it.
It took me half a second, but I got
it. You could be the Utah Saints for the LDS Church.
No, Bruiser, you're walking that line, brother. You're walking the line.
I am naming things that are commonplace in Utah.
Oh my God.
See,
well, I thought Mick Manhattan just joined the show.
Outlaws, Swarm, Venom all sound like minor league franchises to me.
100%.
And that's what I said, the Fury too.
Hey, if they become the Utah Mammoth, can Snuffleupagus be their mascot?
Sure, absolutely.
I've broken George.
Oh my God.
I would root for that team just for their mascot.
Okay, so do you mind if I just...
My wife did. My wife.
No, cannot have Sesame Street involved with that.
It's Snuffleupagus. He's a mammoth.
God.
That's what makes it fun. That's how you get the kid audience. Come on, George. You got to get with the times, man.
Wow.
You know what's funny is my wife was actually working on your.
I was going to say there's already one Mickey Mouse organization that owns a team in this damn thing. We don't need two.
Hey, listen.
We don't own a team.
That's correct.
Oh,
yes, Snuffleupagus. Just put some tusks on him. That's awesome.
Photoshopping.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you so much.
Real quickly, I need to just go on a small little tirade. I'm watching the Phillies and Mets game right now. So we got some drama here, first of all. The game literally, the Phillies had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 9th inning. It's an 0-2 count to Alec Bohm, and Edwin Diaz hits him to tie the game. That's not my gripe, though. My gripe is that I just sat here for 5 minutes because the umpires had to go to instant replay because they forgot the count.
It's not like it's not plastered. It's not like it's not plastered all over every board.
I was going to say it's on the board out in the outfield. Hello.
The Mets pitcher threw a wild pitch to Castellanos. Harper moved the third. It's 3-2. The next pitch is literally 50 feet into the freaking stratosphere, and they're like, well, "Wait, is that ball 3? No. Did you not keep track? How do you lose count?"
Is Angel Hernandez on that crew?
Shockingly, no.
I feel like watching the Mets play this year is a lot like watching your wife leave your house with another man.
What?
I can't say what I wanted to say, but figure it out.
Be careful. We're walking a fine line.
Hey.
I know you're doing good. You're doing really good. I'm giving you credit, buddy. You're doing real good. What? Oh my God! They got to use Scratch from Ice Age as a mascot.
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes.
What?
Adam said they got to use Scratch from Ice Age as a squirrel to go with Snuffleupagus if they go with the mammoth.
Don't forget the acorn.
George, if you can see my wife's face.
No.
Okay,
no,
look,
because they would turn around and they'd have the damn thing chasing the puck instead of going after an acorn.
If you're going to chase a puck instead of an acorn.
Don't give Fox ideas.
Yeah, I was going to say, please.
However, if they're the mammoth and you have Scratch, you've got to have Sid the Sloth there at some point.
Yes, absolutely. How do you not? Look, we're trying to draw the kid audience into the NHL in Salt Lake. We're just trying to help people. This is great.
Look,
Dude, the
modern
Saturday
NHL technology, you're going to have this on the ice. You're going to see this. It's going to be projected on there. It's going to be crazy.
Unreal.
Nope, we never
Oh,
go
this
off the
is
rails
great.
here, folks.
Nope.
Oh,
I
no.
love-
Never.
Hey,
Why do I feel
listen.
like it's every time I'm on the show, chaos happens?
No,
No.
it's
It
It's
happens
every
often.
show.
I was gonna
we
say,
are in the
sorry.
month of May,
Every show.
Yep.
which means the next 2 weeks are going to be awesome because at the end of the month is the Indy 500.
And more football talk.
And Kyle Larson is attempting something that hasn't been done in a very long time.
Is he doing both races?
He's doing the double.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. That hasn't been attempted in a while.
No.
He's doing the
more
double.
power to
And
him, man. That's
the
gotta be
crazy
brutal
thing.
on the body.
They've got IV fluid because Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch both did it. Kurt Busch ended up finishing third or sixth in the Indy 500 when he did it. But they had him on IV fluids on the plane ride all the way down to Charlotte because it's like an hour and a half or 2 hour plane trip down to Charlotte, and it lands from Indy to Charlotte.
I for some reason I thought it was Atlanta, but
No,
I'm not going
Charlotte.
to argue with you. It's got to be you. Yeah, you're fine. Just
Um,
for some reason it was in my head that it was Atlanta.
But he's doing a double. And this is the first time that they've actually made contingencies to do the victory press conference in the air in case he wins.
Huh.
Because
Yeah,
he's been
that's
at the
good.
top of the boards
Yeah.
in every practice.
Right.
Okay.
And
that is going to be so brutal on the body. I can't even imagine attempting something like that. Good on him, man.
You're
I hope he does
talking
well.
1,000 miles of driving in one day.
Who's doing that?
Kyle Larson. He's doing the Indy 500, and then he's getting on a plane right after the Indy 500, flying down to Charlotte, and doing the Coke 600. So 1,100 miles of racing.
You know what? More power to.
Or 520 miles if Bruiser picks him for that week.
It's true.
Say
It's
goodnight,
true.
Bud. Good night, Dad.
Good night, Bob. Love you, sir.
Me too.
I was gonna say through the what was it? Through the blizzard of 2007 from Boston to Cleveland. That was 15 hours and about almost 600 miles that I had to do. So for him to be racing over 1,000, yeah, no thanks. It was hard enough to do it in the snow, and my man's not doing it in any crazy weather.
Harvick is so qualifying and practice is this weekend for the Indy 500. Harvick is the backup for Larson for the All-Star race this weekend in North Wilkesboro for qualifying and practice in case he can't make it. So
that's crazy logistics too. Just trying to figure all that out, how that's all going to work.
they've got an airport that's literally right behind Charlotte Motor Speedway. They land right there. You can see the planes and the planes and the helicopters coming in.
And just turn around and land, jump in a Jeep, and get a ride over to the track.
They'll helicopter them into the track.
Oh, even quicker.
On a couple of on the one med center and the one other spot in the track in the Charlotte infield, there's helipads. They'll helicopter them right into the track. Because I want to say it was 2003 when I went down to the or 2003 or 2004 when I went down to the Coke 600. Tony Stewart had actually run the Indy 500 that day, and you could see his helicopter landing as they were doing pre-race ceremonies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd really like to be at that Coke 600, but I'll be busy that weekend because the girl child graduates high school that Saturday. She made it. I don't have to dig a hole and hide a body.
Nice. Congratulations.
Oh, well, we're not out of the woods yet.
One down, one to go.
No, I got there. I'll talk to you off the air about it.
All right. All right, Zolt. Hit the people's quarterback real quick.
Why would I want to hit him? He's my quarterback.
This is my quarterback, man. This is my teammate.
The people's quarterback, Jared Goff, gets his well-deserved money. And
is this a new MVG?
He has been. He was this past year. Most valuable Goff. I mean, without a doubt. Look, I'll say this. If I can understand an argument, oh, he's not worth that much money. Quarterbacks going rate. That's the only thing I can tell you. This is the going rate for a starting quarterback. And if you didn't want to extend him, I have two questions for you. Number one, what more did you want him to do this past year to earn that extension? And if your answer is win the NFC Championship, question number two is, you really think we lost that? We lost that game because of our defense.
You know, when you said I have two things to say, my brain immediately went, well, I got two words for you. And I had to stop myself from yelling it real loud. So appreciate you for that.
I was geared up for. I know, George, you saw it. I threw it in my league chat. I was geared up for the argument, but to my bitter disappointment, cooler heads prevailed, and
nobody actually. There wasn't a Stafford argument there, which always got played.
Right.
Now, you drafted Hooker with the intentions of having him eventually taking over the reins. Now, this deal, I saw it was a 4-year deal, but
4-year,
3 years with the fourth being an option.
Is it a team option or a player option?
And that's what I was going to ask. Thank you, Bruiser. Yep, that's exactly where I was going. Is it a team or player option?
Sorry, George, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just curious.
No, that's exactly where I was going with it. Good. So we're on the same wavelength there. Can't hear Zolt all of a sudden. We can't hear you. Oh my God. There is no sound coming from your microphone.
You had nothing, homie.
You got nothing, dude.
Okay.
That's bananas. Uh-oh.
We've got some audio. We got some audio issues here.
Just raise your right hand. Raise your right hand if it's a player option. Raise your left hand if it's a team option.
He's like, what's he doing? It's like he's playing around with maybe his mic.
I don't know, but when he gets close to that light, you can watch that horseshoe shine.
Nope.
It's like I'm looking at the ghost of used car salesman future.
Oh. Wow.
His mic really just cut completely out.
I was going to say, tap your microphone.
Dude, he froze up and then he had no sound.
Yeah, it's like his mic totally turned off. Whoa. And he poof.
He is. Just like a baseball ejection. He's out of here.
Quicker than an Angel Hernandez ejection.
Anything's quicker than anything Angel Hernandez does these days. You know what else is quicker than Angel Hernandez ejection? The Mets blowing a lead and losing to the Phillies in 10.
You say the Mets blowing a lead like it's not a common occurrence.
I have so many. No, here. Okay, here's the thing. I am surrounded in my area by Mets fans. I'd rather listen to Yankee fans because at least I got some respect for them. I've got so many Mets fans in my area that literally just talk nonstop to me about nothing because I just like to make the joke to them that Justin Verlander didn't even last a full season in New York and decide, should have just stayed in Houston. And I just hate the Mets. I've hated them.
One
since
of
I was
my
a kid.
best friends is a Mets fan. One of my best friends is, and
I'm
so
not per se a
anytime
Mets
I come
fan.
across anytime I come across the Instagram reel that makes fun of the Mets, I just send it to him. There's a text message thread of about 30 of them. I'll just send them to you, Sam.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a quote unquote Mets fan. I am just an Alonso fan because I drafted the kid in my fantasy baseball and have been a huge fan of his ever since.
I like Edwin Diaz.
Well, he had a rough night, and the ninth ain't tonight.
Listen, even Mariano Rivera had a rough night or two.
So the golf deal is 212 with 170 guaranteed.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about the option.
How you put your hands in against Diaz tonight and was in a barrel in that fashion? You're seeing the ball wrong, you trust yourself, aren't you? Yeah, just not trying to do too much. Kind of taught myself that about this before and got a little big on that 3-1 pitch and trying to jam myself. So we're trying to keep it short and simple. What does this kind of a win do after yesterday? I mean, I know yesterday's only one game and 162 mistakes we said for this, but what does it do to come back and get a win like this after yesterday? Yeah, I mean, all the guys in the clubhouse, we hate losing. And, I mean, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth for sure. And just come out here and do that from trailing pretty much the whole game was huge. And says a lot about the guys in there and the type of best that we have. What can you say about Christopher Sanchez, the way he was able to battle and go out there and give you 5 2/3? Yeah, he's a workhorse, and been watching him do it since he got kind of traded over here. And I mean, he's a workhorse, like I said, like the rest of our starters, and even our bullpen guys coming in and shutting doors and things like that. And that was a gutsy performance for sure. All right, speaking of gutsy, ball hit by that pitch, that had to be a gas.
Yo.
Thank you.
It does. It says it includes an option for 2028, but doesn't tell us
If it's player or team.
Player or team.
Your mind is that's always traveling out there.
So
Yeah. They don't
So-
they don't disclose the options in football like they do in baseball. Like baseball, if it's a team or a player option like immediately.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes, but like I do know the fact that he is now the highest paid player in Lions history.
Well, whenever you hear it's like, oh, that's the highest paid, it's the highest paid. Well, based on the revenue structures of the era, I mean,
Well,
it's
yeah.
like, you got guys who were paid in the 30s and 40s. It's like, all right, if they were paid $50,000, that was like getting paid $200 million nowadays.
They've got printing presses in the basements of those stadiums anyway. So like, it's
Right.
not. Hey, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we leave.
Hit it.
Can we talk about how insane that crowd in France was for that pay-per-view?
Oh my gosh. It was
I missed it. I have not watched it yet. But it is on my agenda.
Go watch it. Because they did the press they did the press conference Friday afternoon before SmackDown, right?
Okay.
And the crowd was chanting something at AJ. And AJ didn't know what it was because they were chanting it in French, right? And he ended up leaving the stage. You could see he was visibly mad about it. What they were chanting was, he truly is, he truly is, he truly is phenomenal. It's from an old one-hit wonder song from France in like 1997.
Oh,
Ah,
Did you think that had
They
any
set
chance?
off
No.
noise alerts with how loud the crowd was.
yep.
At one point, the crowd was so loud and so raucous, it shook the hard cam.
damn. That's pretty good.
And you know, we're used to like Cody Rhodes, right? Like they do the whoa thing with him. Like we're used to that. But when they were literally singing Randy Orton's theme word for word, that was awesome.
In English.
That's cool.
That whole crowd was freaking amazing.
They have so I don't expect the crowd in Saudi Arabia to be that rowdy here
No.
at the end of the month. But
No.
they're going to Glasgow and they're going to Germany this summer.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we
Oh,
can
yeah.
hear you now. He's back.
What happened?
I could not tell you. Nothing changed. It just suddenly stopped working. I restarted the computer, uninstalled and reinstalled the microphone, and it works.
Huh.
Okay.
All right.
On that note,
But
good night, everybody.
I will say this now.
Never say
They did that event in Puerto Rico.
Carry some momentum into tomorrow, and then obviously
That is really distracting, whoever that is.
Sam,
that's the mistake.
can you turn that bad boy down?
Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's given some brutal feedback over on this side, bud.
my bad.
They did that live event in Puerto Rico, and that kind of kicked it off, right? With the way the crowd reacted in Puerto Rico. Then they went to Australia, and Australia was amazing.
Yes.
Then they went to France, and France stepped it up. Scotland and Germany are now on the clock because you've got to top that.
And you know Scotland is going to go bananas.
Well, it's June 1st, and the main event of that was supposed to be Punk and Drew McIntyre, but McIntyre's hurt.
Yeah. But still, I think I still think they're gonna kick it up. I think they'll do real well.
I think they'll do amazing. I legitimately want to see how Germany does.
I think they do fine. I mean,
Well,
hell, if it's anything like they do when the NFL's there, and they really bring
Listen.
it for an NFL game, I think for WWE they'll even be better.
You get a whole lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
Germans in one stadium chanting and screaming. Poland's going to get real nervous.
Oh
And
my
with that,
gosh.
folks, we will catch you all on the flip side.
I came back.
If we're allowed to after that.
Have a great rest of your week, and don't get roasted and toasted like Tom Brady did. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.